Hi everyone! Welcome back sa aking channel, GTR Math Tutorial. Ayan, GTR Math Tutorial. So for today's video, I will discuss implicit differentiation. We have implicit differentiation, second derivative. So we have find the second derivative in each of the following. So I have 3 examples for finding the second derivative using the implicit differentiation. Okay, so before we start, for those who are new to my channel, please do subscribe. And for those who have question, you can send a private message in my Facebook account or Messenger. And then if you have question, you can post question on my Facebook group. Yan, so on my Facebook group, Civil Service Exam, yan, / Let Review for Mathematics. Okay, so post lang kayo ng question dyan. So as you can see, meron tayo dyang sa featured, may mga Google Forms tayo. So we have 30 items, Civil Service Reviewer in Math, 50 items, CSE Reviewer in Math, Work Problem Quiz, Let Reviewer for Math Major, Part 1, Age Problem Quiz, and so on. And then if you want free reviewer, so you can go to Files, then you can download these reviewers for General Education, Professional Education, CSE, then we have for Mathematics. Okay, so these are my this is my YouTube channel, so GTR Math Tutorial. So if you go to playlist, so ito yung mga natapos ko na, mga na-upload ko. So I have a playlist for Math in Sports Betting, Let Reviewer for Mathematics, so number theory, analytic geometry, logical reasoning, fractions, trigonometry, Let Reviewer for Math Majors, percentage problems, word problem set, ratio and proportion, investment problem, probabilities and counting techniques, matrix, age problem, mixture problem, work problem, distance rate and time problem. Then Let Math Majorship and Civil Service Reviewer in Math. So naka-andyan lahat. So we have differential calculus. So dito ko ilalagay itong topic natin ngayon. So differential calculus. So we have general mathematics, hypothesis testing, and grade 11 is statistics and probability. So kung nandyan yung hinahanap nyong topic, so punta lang po kayo sa aking channel and click nyo lang yung playlist na yan. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so let's start. Number 1. Find the second derivative of x squared minus 4y squared equals 16. Okay, so first, find the first derivative. So all we have to do is use the power rule. So general power rule. So we have derivative of x to the n. So that is simply nx to the n minus 1. Okay, so just put the 2 here and then subtract 1. So therefore, derivative of x squared is 2x. Then minus, so multiply 2 to 4. So we have 4 times 2, so that is 8. Y minus 1, so that is y to the first power or simply y. And then since it is y, so the derivative is always followed by y prime. Equals derivative of 16, so constant, derivative of constant is 0. Then next, solve for y prime, but first let us divide both sides by 2 since 2 and 8 are both divisible by 2. So 0 divided by 2 is still that's still 0. So we have x minus 8 divided by 2, so we have 4y y prime equals 0. So put negative 4y y prime to the other side. So that since this is negative, so that this will become positive. So we put negative 4y prime to the other side so that there is no positive. Or if you want, you can transpose x to the other side so it will become both negative and then divide by -1 or multiply by -1 to make it positive. So we have x equals 4y prime. So next, solve for y prime. So divide both sides by 4y. Okay, so divide both sides by 4y. So therefore, y prime now is equal to, so we just interchange x over 4y. Okay, so this is the value of first derivative. So now we're going to differentiate again to find the second derivative. So second derivative, so we will use the quotient rule, x over 4y. So quotient rule, so we have derivative of u over v with respect to x. So that is equal to the denominator v times derivative of the numerator u prime minus the numerator u and then the derivative of the denominator v prime over the denominator square. Okay, so apply this, apply that process. So we have, or we can move the constant in the, we can write this as 1/4 since 4 is constant. So 1/4 times derivative of x over y. Okay, so just isolate the 1/4. Then get the derivative of x over y. So denominator is y. Derivative of x is 1. So y times 1 minus the numerator x. Then derivative of the denominator is y prime. Okay? So all over the denominator is square. So we have y square. Okay, so simplify. So we have y double prime equals, so let us put a y square here. So we have 1 over 4y square. Okay, so that we don't have a complex fraction. So we put y square here. And then substitute the value of y prime. The value of y prime is x over 4y. So we have y times 1, so that is simply y minus x, and then times y prime, so that is x over 4y. Okay? So to make it simpler, so we put y squared outside so that there will be no complex fraction. So next is simplify this. So we have y double prime is equal to 1 over 4y squared. So simplify. So we have y minus x times x. So that is x squared over 4y. Then add this. So we can use the butterfly. So let's put 1 in this. And then we can use the butterfly technique, so the cross multiplication. So just cross multiply. So yan, cross multiply, then multiply this. Okay? Okay, so therefore we have second derivative is equal to 1 over 4y squared. So simplify this, y times 4y, so that is 4y squared. That's y times 4y squared minus 1 times x squared, so that is x squared all over 1 times 4y, so that is equal to 4y. Now, we can substitute the value of 4y squared minus x squared. So the original given is x squared. So what is this? X squared minus 4y squared equals 16. So that is the same to this. Oh, we can factor out the negative sign so that it will be equal. So usually in finding the second derivative by implicit differentiation, so lagi tayong bumabalik dito. Okay? So therefore, if we factor out the negative sign, so we have second derivative of negative 1 over 4y squared. So this can be written as x squared minus 4y squared over 4y. Okay, so let us simplify. So let us simplify x squared minus 4y squared. So this is equal to 16. Okay? So therefore, we now have second derivative is negative 1 times 16. So we have negative 16 over 4 times 4. So that is 4. 4 times 4. So that is 16. Y squared times y. So that is y cubed. So therefore, the second derivative is equal to, so cancel out 16. So we have negative 1 over y cubed. So this is the final answer. Second derivative is negative 1 over y cubed. Okay, so next example. So find the derivative of x raised to 2/3 plus y raised to 2/3 equals a raised to 2/3. So a here is constant. Okay, so again apply the power rule. So put 2/3 here. So we have 2/3 x raised to 2/3 minus 1. Okay, so we have 2/3 minus 1. So that's equal to 2/3 minus 1. 1 can be written as 3 over 3. So that's equal to 1. So 2/3 minus 1. So that's equal to negative 1/3. Okay, so this term, the exponent will be negative 1/3. Plus, so same here. So we have 2/3 y raised to, so 2/3 minus 1. So that is negative 1/3 equals a raised to 2/3. That is equal to 0 because a is constant. So that is equal to 0. Okay, so 2/3 minus 1 here is also negative 1/3. So we have both 2/3 as numerical coefficient. So we can divide both sides by 2/3 or simply cancel the 2/3. Okay, so therefore we have x raised to negative 1/3 plus y raised to negative 1/3. We forgot the y prime. So when we differentiate y, so there is this always followed by y prime. Okay, so equals 0. Solve for y prime. So put x raised to negative 1/3 to the other side. So this will become y raised to negative 1/3 y prime equals, so transpose to the other side. So this will become negative x raised to negative 1/3. Okay? So we have two ways to solve y prime. We can divide both. We can divide both by y raised to negative 1/3, or we can use the product rule. So, or we can multiply both sides of the equation by y raised to 1/3. That will give us the same answer. So if we divide by y raised to negative 1/3, so we have negative exponent. Okay, so we can use the quotient law. Or if we want to use the product law, for me, product law is easier. So we can multiply both sides by y raised to 1/3. So when we add this, y raised to 1/3 times y raised to negative 1/3. So 1/3 minus 1/3, so that is y raised to 0, or that is equal to 1. Okay, so that will give us same answer. Okay, so y prime is equal to negative x raised to negative 1/3 y raised to 1/3. Okay, so now get the second derivative. Okay, so second derivative, so we can isolate the negative sign and then use the product rule. Okay, so we have second derivative is equal to, so isolate natin yung negative sign sa labas. Then use the product rule. So what is the product rule? Derivative of uv, yan, u times v with respect to x. So that's equal to u times v prime plus v derivative of u. So that is u prime. Okay, so apply that technique. So we have x raised to, just copy x raised to negative 1/3. And then derivative of y raised to 1/3. So derivative of y raised to 1/3. So that is equal to 1/3 y raised to 1/3 minus 1. So we have negative 1/3 minus 1 is negative 2/3 y prime. Okay? So nandito pa lang tayo, uv prime. So plus v prime. So plus v, I mean v. So y is y raised to 1/3 times derivative of u. So u is the first term, x raised to negative 1/3. So that is equal to negative 1/3 y raised to negative 1/3 minus 1. So that is equal to negative 4 over 3 because negative 1 will become negative 3 over 3. So raised to negative 4 over 3. Okay, so simplify. So second derivative is equal to negative. So let's simplify. So put 1/3 in front, 1/3 x raised to negative 1/3 y raised to negative 2/3. And then we will substitute the value of y prime. So the value of y prime is x raised to x raised to 1/3 y. Ayan, so negative x raised to negative 1/3 y raised to 1/3. So this is the value of of y prime. Okay? So that's the value of y prime. Then just copy this. So put negative 1/3 in front. So 1/3 y raised to 1/3, then y raised to negative 4 over 3. So when we combine, or y, they are both y. So vu prime, so y raised to 1/3. So this must be x. Okay? Sorry for the mistake. So this is x. So we have negative 1/3 x raised to negative 4 over 3 y raised to 1/3. Then let us simplify. Y double prime is equal to, let's multiply the negative. So they are both negative times negative, and then we have negative here. So that will become positive. So positive 1/3, combine the x raised to negative 1/3, x raised to negative 1/3. So that's equal to, just add, that is x raised to negative 2/3. And then for y, we have y negative 2/3 plus 1/3. So that is negative 1/3. Okay, for this, so we have plus, since negative times negative is positive. So we have 1/3, just copy, negative 4 over 3 y raised to 1/3. So now we will factor out the common. So factor out the common, 1/3. So for x, x raised to negative 2/3, x raised to negative 4 over 3. So we will factor out yung mas mababang value. So x raised to negative 2/3 and x raised to negative 4 over 3. So we factor out x raised to negative 4 over 3. Yung mas mababa. Okay? And then y raised to negative 1/3, and we have y raised to 1/3. So mas mababa is y raised to negative 1/3. So we factor out 1/3 and x raised to negative 2/3. So in order for this to become negative 2/3, so this will be x raised to positive 2/3. Okay? Because when we subtract negative 4 plus 2, so that is negative 2/3. Okay? Negative 4/3 plus 2/3 is negative 2/3. Kailangan bumalik yan dito sa original na given. So ayan, okay na, meron na tayong x raised to 2/3. Then plus, we factor out x raised to negative 4 over 3. So wala na tong term na to. Then we have negative 1/3 here. So negative 1/3 plus, what must be the exponent of y, so that when we add, the answer is 1/3. So that is 2/3. Okay, because negative 1/3 plus 2/3, that is equal to 1/3. So now, we will substitute the value x raised to 2/3 plus y raised to 2/3, that is equal to a raised to 2/3 based on our original given. Okay, so just substitute the value, and at the same time, we will make the exponent positive. So therefore, final answer is second derivative is, this term is now a raised to 2/3 all over 3 x raised to negative 4 over 3. So we put that in the denominator since it is negative. And then put that in the denominator and make the exponent positive by the negative exponent rule. So y raised to negative 1/3. So that is y raised to 1/3. So this is the final answer, the second derivative. Okay, so again, in finding the second derivative, we always have a term, we will always use this term, the original given, x raised to 2/3 plus y raised to 2/3 equals a raised to 2/3. Okay? So next, last example number 3. So we have x squared minus 2xy plus 3y squared. Okay, so just use the power rule. So differentiate each term, derivative of x squared, so that is 2x minus 2. So we can use the product rule here. So just put 2 outside and then apply the product rule. So we have u is x and then y is v. So apply the product rule. So we have x, derivative of y is y prime plus y, derivative of x is 1. Okay? So we have plus 3y squared. So multiply 2 to 3. So we have 6y raised to 2 minus 1. So that's equal to 1 equals 0. Derivative of 4 is 0. Then we have 2, 2, and 6. So therefore, we can divide both sides by 2 since all are divisible by 2. So we have x minus, at the same time, let us multiply the negative sign. So we cancel out 2 and 2, then distribute the negative sign. So we have x y prime minus negative ny, so that is minus y, plus 6 divided by 2, so that is 3y equals 0. So now combine the solve for y prime. Solve for y prime, so put all the terms in the right side, or since the y prime has negative sign, so we will put this to the right side. So therefore we have x minus y plus 3y equals negative xy prime, so that is equal to positive x y prime when we add xy prime to both sides of the equation. Then we can combine this. So this is x negative y plus 3y. So we have plus 2y equals xy prime. So parang may na-miss na naman tayo. Kaya pala sa equat parang naiba yung solution. May y prime pa dito. So sorry again. So may y prime tayo dito. So let's erase natin ito. So we missed the y prime. Okay, so divide both sides by 2. So we have x minus, so wala na to, then distribute. So we have x y prime minus y plus 3y y prime equals 0, and then combine the y primes. So y prime terms with y prime. So ayan. And then we will factor out the y prime. Okay, so factor out the y prime. So we have, unahin natin yung positive. So we have 3y minus x, okay, times y prime equals, put x and negative y to the other side. So negative y will become positive y. And then x will become negative x. Then solve for y prime, divide both sides by this term. Okay? So divide both sides by 3y minus x. So therefore, the value of the first derivative is y minus x over 3y minus x. So now get the second derivative. So second derivative, we will use the quotient rule again. So quotient rule, so this is u and this is v. So the formula is vu prime minus u v prime over v squared. Okay, so apply that rule. So we have the denominator, just copy the denominator, 3y minus x. Derivative of the numerator, u prime, derivative of y is y prime. Derivative of negative x is negative 1. Okay, so minus the numerator, y minus x. Derivative of the denominator is equal to derivative of 3y is 3y prime. Derivative of negative x is negative 1. All over the denominator square. Okay, so we have 3y minus x square. So let's just simplify. So distribute distribute y prime, or yan. So we can use the FOIL method. So yan, just distribute 3y to y prime and negative 1, negative x to negative 1. So use the FOIL method. So we have 3y y prime, 3y y prime minus 3y times negative 1. So that is negative 3y, negative x times y prime, negative xy prime, and then negative x times negative 1. That is positive x minus. So again, distribute. Okay, distribute. Then distribute here. So we have y times 3y y prime. So we have 3y y prime. Y times negative 1 is negative y. Then we have negative x times 3y prime. That is negative 3 x y prime plus x. Okay, all over 3y minus x squared. So simplify. So we can cancel out 3y y prime and minus 3y y prime. So this can be cancelled out. We have positive x and positive x. So we have negative sign here. So we can cancel this positive x and then positive x because there is negative sign outside. Okay. So what's left is, so we have negative 3y, and then negative y here. But this negative y will become positive because of this negative sign outside. So negative of negative y, that is positive y. So then negative 3y plus y, so that is negative 2y. And then last, so wala na rin to, naisulat na natin. So negative xy minus negative 3xy, so that will become positive 3xy prime. And then we have minus xy prime here. So we can add negative 1 plus 3, so that is positive 2xy prime all over 3y minus x squared. So now, substitute na natin yung value ng y prime. Okay? So what is the value of y prime? The value of y prime is this term. So substitute natin dito. Okay? So medyo mahaba ang ating solution. So ilabas na lang natin ito para mas madaling isulat. Hindi na siya magko-complex fraction. So we have 1 over 3y minus x squared. Then we have negative 2y plus 2x. And then y prime is y minus x over 3y minus x. Okay, so we can simplify further. So y double prime is equal to, or we can cross multiply this. So let's put a 1 here so that we can cross multiply. Apply the butterfly technique. So ayan. Okay, para mas madali na at konti ng space natin. Okay, so we have 1 over 3y minus x squared times, so multiply, negative 2y times 3y, so that is equal to negative 6y squared. Okay, negative 2y times negative x, that is positive 2xy. And then distribute 2x to this. So we have plus 2xy minus 2x squared all over 3y minus x, which is the same to this. So we can combine this product rule, 3y at or product law. Yan, 3y minus x squared, 3y minus x. Okay? So law of exponent, we just add the exponent since we have same base. And then simplify the numerator. So we have y prime is equal to, so the denominator will become 3y minus x square and then 1, so that is cube. Then combine like terms if there is like terms. So we have x. So in the original we given, we have x squared minus 2xy plus 3y squared. So we put negative 2x squared in front. So we have negative 2x squared. And then we have xy, plus 2xy plus 2xy. So that is plus 4xy. And then minus 6y squared. Minus 6y squared. Okay, so as you can see, we can have a factor of x squared minus 2xy plus 3y squared if we factor out the negative 2. Okay? So if we factor out negative 2, if we factor out negative 2, the numerator will become negative 2. And then we have x squared minus 2xy. Then this will become positive 3y squared, which is equal to 4. Okay, so laging tatandaan sa second derivative ng implicit, babalik yan dito. Okay, so therefore we can substitute. The final answer now is equal to second derivative is equal to, just copy negative 2, but the value of x squared minus 2x plus 3y squared based on the given is equal to 4. So we have negative 2 times 4 over 3y minus x cubed. So therefore, final answer is second derivative is negative 8 over 3y minus x cubed. So this is the final answer. Okay, so that's it. So I hope you learned something. So that's the process of finding the second derivative. We will always go back to the original given in the equation. So we will always we can always use this in the second derivative, the value of the expression. Okay, so thank you for watching. Bye-bye and God bless. See you on my next tutorial in differential calculus. Bye.